Sometimes fate and destiny bring two people together in an amazing way. None of us knows how people can cross paths in this world. But in this video, we will talk about the story of a girl named Amy Abramson. Amy was born into a rich family and spent most of her life in Sweden. Then she moved to London to continue her university studies. Her life developed greatly. She graduated from university and worked as an actress in Amsterdam. And at the age of 29, she became the artistic director of one of the ancient theaters in Vienna. At a glance, everything in her life seemed perfect except for one thing. Amy suffered from loneliness during her work and the various trips that she took, and she couldn't find her life partner at that time. All her friends were married and had kids. She spent many important moments in her life alone. Everything was going wrong till 2005 when Amy was on a street in Amsterdam waiting for her friend who would spend the day with her. Amy's birthday was just 1 week after that day. She was seeing a lot of happy people on the street, and that made her feel completely frustrated because all she wanted was finding her life partner. At that moment, Amy saw one of the homeless. She was afraid of them, and that made her confused because she was looking at him. The man approached her bit by bit. The man got close to her. He was very pale. Although he was young, hair covered his entire face. He was dirty and smelly. He asked Amy about the time, and she told him that it was 5:30. It was so awkward and strange to the girl, for she wasn't used to talking to the homeless. She was very afraid of them. However, what caught Amy's attention was this vagabond's self-confidence. He didn't just ask about the time, but he continued the conversation with her until her friend arrived. She was no longer afraid or embarrassed about talking with the homeless man. While chatting with him, Amy was fascinated by his beautiful brown eyes. She couldn't stop staring at them. The two talked for a full 10 minutes, and when Amy wanted to leave, the homeless man asked her to meet him at the same place in 5 days. Amy was surprised about his request and left. Nevertheless, Amy didn't actually plan to meet him again. But after 5 days, she realized that she couldn't get the idea out of her head. She thought about it a little and decided to return to the same place again and meet the guy. She talked with him for a long time. He told her that his name is Vic. On that day, Vic looked more elegant. He styled his hair, changed his clothes, and arrived on a small kid's bicycle. He was innocently carrying his sleeping bag on his back. He told Amy that he traveled to Europe several years ago, but now he's penniless and living on the streets. He was miserable because his life didn't go as he was planning. Vic was addicted to alcohol, but he stopped drinking since the day he met Amy. In the evening, Amy told him that she was returning to Vienna because she lives there. Both Amy and Vic thought that they'd never see each other again. Amy left her phone number and left quickly. His voice stuck in her mind all that, while the next year, her phone rang. She was expecting a friend to call to congratulate her on her birthday, but the caller was an unexpected person. It was Vic. He told her that he remembers that today is her birthday and that he would like to invite her to dinner. Amy didn't understand what was happening in the beginning. But she understood after that Vic had traveled from Amsterdam to Vienna to meet her. He was detained by the police because he stole a chicken from one of the city stores. Amy helped him, and after a few days, he got a job. Vic, who stopped drinking alcohol and completely changed his appearance, became better than he had been before and ended up proposing to Amy and married her. The two lived a happy life together. In the beginning, Vic worked as an electrician. And after 6 years of marriage, the couple had twins, Desta and Teal. This was a new challenge to Vic, which encouraged him to search for a new source of income. The couple set up a small maintenance company. The twins knew how their parents met. In fact, the two girls found it funny that their father lived in the streets. At a later time, Amy wrote a book entitled How to Fall in Love with a Man Who Lives in the Jungle. After a while, the couple appeared on one of the British television programs and told the whole world their story. And there Amy said, "I've not regretted my meeting with him. I've never quarreled with him. And this is what I dreamed of my whole life. And I think our meeting is what made our story so special."